Thank you and welcome back to the show. In case you've just joined us, this is the Nigeria Watch. We are going slowly, but certainly sure. We're being joined now by an All Progressives Congress elder statesman, if you ask me, a youth coordinator, and of course, a journalist in that case, a public affairs analyst, a political affairs analyst. All of these are giving credit to none other than Nnamdi Ofonye. Good evening and welcome to Nigeria Watch. We are happy to have you on the program.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we have the visuals of your presidential party candidate, his return, which brought a lot of rumors about his ill health and all of that. People were asking, where is Tinubu? It trended on social media this week when all of the presidential candidates met in Federal Capital Territory, perhaps last week, to sign a peace accord ahead of the 2023 general elections. Shetima had represented Tinubu at the event. What do you make of all of that noise?
Trinity. You see, on the issue of his absence during the signing of the peace accord by the presidential candidate, it is very, very important that we let Nigerians realize this, that the presidential ticket is a joint ticket of equal opportunity and standing between the presidential candidate and the vice presidential candidate. In a situation where the presidential candidate does not have a running mate, that ticket is null and void. So based on that, the presidential candidate cannot do anything without his vice presidential candidate. And secondly, as the head of that ticket, he enjoys the right and the freedom to delegate any assignment to his vice, which he has shown repeatedly. During the MBA conference, he delegated his vice. This second time again, he did the same thing. Not because he is not sound enough to sign that peace accord. After all, there was nothing much they did than just signing. But don't forget that Bola Tinubu was a graduate of was a first class graduate. His intellectual capacity is not in doubt. So I see no reason why Nigerians will always want to turn the issues around, try to make a mountain out of a molehill over nothing. It is time that Nigerians should begin to concentrate on very serious issues, issue-based campaigns, and not all the time looking for loopholes, looking for one or two inconsequential issues that they will use to hit up the policy, whereas thereby forcing Nigerians to forget the very, very important issues that we should be discussing about. Okay, imagine, maybe the man left the country, everybody knew the man has left. But I can tell you today that P2B is not in the country. And nobody is even discussing it. Nobody is aware. 80% of Nigerians are not even aware that Mr. P2B is out of the country. The same thing the last time when Atiku left the country. After all, he has lived abroad all his life. He does not even based in Nigeria. But nobody even cares. So when you put all these things together, it tells you that Bola Tinubu, despite the deliberate smear campaign, despite the efforts by his transducers and political detractors to bring him down at every given opportunity, the man has continued to soar. You understand?
Okay. So
that tells you who he is.
I will allow you to talk more about your presidential candidate at this point in time. But let also bring to your notice the fact that as we speak, your party, the All Progressives Congress, are finding it very difficult at this point in time to constitute the Presidential Campaign Council, PCC. And this inability to do so had not been unconnected with supposedly and of course allegedly complaint by your national chairman of your party, who was quoted to have written a letter to Tinubu at some point, and it trended in the news that Tinubu is running a one-man show. Though he had come out to put a refutal to that statement.
This issue is a very funny one, because the Tinubu that we know is not a man that runs a one-man show. That is why it is difficult for any politician in this country today to defeat him. We did not see the hard copy, maybe a photocopy of it. All what we saw was a WhatsApp or social media written memo.
Let me quickly get you up to date with the fact that President Muhammadu Buhari had presented the 2023 budget to the National Assembly, as reported by the Premium Times. Today, Mr. President was at the National Assembly for the combined session at the National Assembly. So we also have the fact, have it on good authority, that the 2021 budget recorded a deficit of 4.6 trillion. That's about 63% of the estimated deficit for the 2022 fiscal year.
Even when you monitor the debt servicing budget for the civilized clients like the US and the rest, you also find out that they are huge. Why it is so this time around? Because actually we know that this government has borrowed. But the good thing is that they borrowed to close up the infrastructural deficit that we have witnessed in this country over the years. So there are two different things. When a government borrows to build infrastructures, and when a government borrows to pay salaries, there are two different things. This government has not failed in its responsibility to by owing workers their salaries. They've never done that. But on the issue of infrastructure, roads, rails, airports, and critical infrastructures, yes, they are in a hurry to meet up. They are in a hurry to close up the gap. So they have to go borrowing. So, but when you also see the biggest borrowers across the world are the most developed countries of the world.
Let's listen to the former Lagos State Governor and the APC presidential candidate, his speech during his arrival at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. And then we'll get back to you on the program. Stay with us, this Nigeria Watch. We'll be right back.
And I'm happy to be back to my fatherland. And Nigeria should expect a very intelligent ability to think and perform. Nigeria should expect that the help they needed is here. The hope that is almost teetering is back, and back actively. And we hold every effort to the country of patriotism, dedication, capacity, and ability to do the job. Not negative thinking, not the fact that Nigeria has failed. This country, or this continent, is the greatest of all, and we should be a help. If it's rebuilt, we are builders. If it's construction, we are constructors. If it is assurance, we give Nigeria that we definitely will make a better country out of it all.
Thank you and welcome back to the show. In case you've just joined us, this is the Nigeria Watch. Let's go back to your party's inability to resolve the lingering ASU strike. It's become worrisome, 7 months counting, and nothing seems to happen positively. The federal government took ASU to court. ASU took federal government back to court. They went to appeal courts, and now federal government set up another body called CONWA by the minister. All of these seems to lead to nowhere. Are you worried about the condition of Nigerian students, Nnamdi?
Yes, as a Nigerian, as a youth, I am very, very much worried about the lingering crisis But at the same time, I am happy that today the Court of Appeal has ordered ASU to go back to the classroom. You see, what is happening now, it is very, very unfortunate that what is happening at a time like this. And to a very large extent, many of us, or many people, many observers believe that the stance of the ASU could have some political undertone, because this is a pre-election year. Because what they are asking for did not just accumulate under this present administration. It's been there all along. And from what we understand, the government has almost cleared or reached an agreement with them on this issue. And from what we found out that is going to concession presently is the issue of salaries of no work. That the federal government says, okay, you've been on strike for the past 8 months, we are not going to pay you for those months. Go back to the classroom, and they refuse. At a time like this, these people, these lecturers should put the interest of the students above their own personal interest. We know it is their right to make some of these demands, but at the same time, they should consider the government and agree to make some sacrifices on their part. If you make a demand of 100 naira and you get 60 naira, my brother, it is a good cause. It is a good deal. You take and move on, and then ask for the balance in the future. Okay, now the government has gone ahead. Thank God the Konwa has said that their push to begin to operate on their own as a legal body started in 2018. So not even now. For people that are saying federal government is this government or this party that instigated them, it's been there all along. But thank God we are almost getting a truce, because following this order by the Court of Appeal, and then the stand of Konwa to go back to classroom, I know the issue will definitely come to an end next week. They must return to the classroom, and from there they will continue their negotiation. So people, nobody should tie it to APC or because it's been there all along. Even while I was in school, the issue of ASU and government has been there.
Okay, federal government has secured the release of the last batch of hostages, about 23 of these people, as mentioned by Minister of Transportation, Muazu Sambo. And nobody actually bothered to ask the minister if the ransom was paid. But we are surprised that the minister has come up to say Abuja Kaduna attack, no kobo was paid to release, when we know that individuals paid about 100 million to be released. Do you think the minister is saying the truth?
I cannot say he's saying the truth, and at the same time I cannot say if he's telling lies. But I do not know the inner understanding. I do not know the intrigues or whatever happened leading to the release of those 23 persons. If individuals stayed from behind,
about
the government has the right.
About 100 million, we know of the law.
Yes. If the families of individuals, out of anxiety for their loved ones, you know, most times the police will tell you, don't pay, don't do this, let us do our thing. Anxiety and fear always forces the family of the victims to go ahead and pay. So if the families of the victims paid on their own and it did not come from the government has the right to say no ransom was paid, because maybe the family did not tell them, maybe they did it on their own. But at the same time, I am not saying whether they paid or not, because as I said earlier, I do not have a knowledge of what actually transpired. But we should be grateful and thankful that finally all the kidnapped victims have reunited with their loved ones. I know what they must have passed through, and this will lead me to call on the federal government, the state government, and all agencies starting with the responsibility of providing security for the lives and properties of Nigerians to be up and doing. This is not a time for any more excuses. They must nip these crimes in the bud and make Nigeria a better place.
Okay, let's get back to politics now, Ofonye. What I'm asking in question is that you were trying to talk about Peter Obi and his absence. Is your party, the All Progressives Congress, not worried about the upsurge popularity of Peter Obi? Perhaps pushing the People's Democratic Party distance forth in terms of ranking, coming from Labour Party, a party we've not heard much about in recent times. And Peter Obi's come up. And it's surprising to see a party like yours that's been in government, in leadership for about 8 years, talking about the Labour Party and then Peter Obi. I was expecting the APC to be talking about perhaps the PDP candidate, talking about Atiku Abubakar, who has run this race for the umpteenth time, and we all know. Is your party afraid of the popularity of Mr. Peter Obi?
Okay, as a journalist, I know you are very, very well informed. If I ask you now, you hardly have you seen APC, both APC as a party and our presidential candidates talk about Peter Obi the way they talk about Bola Tinubu. We don't. Yeah, it is a known fact. It is in New Nigeria today that there is a surge of support coming from the youth angle for Peter Obi. That is because of the economic situation in the country, which is understandable. But I can tell you that most times this kind of effects do not translate into electoral victories. We have seen it happen a couple of times. 2023 elections, so many factors will play out that I might not want to begin to list here and now. So many factors will play out. The street march and 1 million man march as the target will not and definitely will not translate to electoral victory. Because if you watch what they are doing in across the country, like in Lagos or in Delta or if you check and calculate the number of those who stage those march, and then you check the number of those who just look at them and continue doing what they are doing, facing their businesses, and those are home, you will know that it's just a fraction. You understand? It's just a fraction of the people. But it is good because it is only trying to rewrite the narrative of our politics. Gone are the days when politicians take everybody for a ride.
Thank you
now
so
they
much.
know that the initiative is in town and everybody has to sit up.
Thank you so much. It's been nice talking to you. Wish we had all the time, but we're going to do this again, God willing. And do you think your party will emerge victorious in 2023, the APC?
I am 90% cocksure that APC's Bola Tinubu will emerge as the president of Nigeria come 2023.
Thank you so much. Let's do this again next time, God willing. Have yourself a splendid weekend, Nnamdi.
It's my pleasure.